Video number 75 plus. Vacuum or ether? Hello! According to Aristotle, nature hates a vacuum. It was not until 1643, with Torricelli's experiment, that the existence of some vacuum could be proven. The nature of this space devoid of matter has always been a subject of controversy, as the notion was in competition with that of ether, and even of ethers, because this word possibly refers to several different things. According to Wikipedia, in physics, the term ether has encompassed different notions over the ages. The different ethers considered by physicists are subtle substances distinct from matter and allowing to provide or transmit various effects between bodies. These effects have been the motion of planets for Descartes, the transmission of gravitational force for Newton, the transport of light for Descartes, Robert Hooke, Newton, and many others up to the early 20th century, the transport of electric and magnetic force, etc. It is also written in Wikipedia that the emergence of special relativity put an end to all these works, relegating questions about the ether to considerations such as quantum fluctuations of the vacuum. This is not entirely accurate, as special relativity makes no assumptions about the medium of electromagnetic waves and does not include gravitation. The truth is that the Michelson-Morley experiment was interpreted as definitely precluding the existence of luminiferous ether, which had been the subject of much speculation since Thomas Young. Today, 20th century physics tells us that light is made up of particles that vibrate the vacuum and that gravity is a distortion of space-time. Both ideas being devoid of physical meaning and amounting to abandon any attempt to explain the behavior of matter and waves. Due to the energy of vacuum that has been evaluated in various ways, more and more physicists no longer conceive the vacuum as a form of nothingness. And the problem of understanding how light can travel such enormous distances without losing all its energy along the way is still posed. A recent theory by the physicist Nikolai Magnitsky, a specialist in dynamical systems, fluid mechanics, and chaotic behavior, proposes a completely different scheme called the compressible ether theory, in which ether is the main constituent, with waves and matter appearing as small disturbances in a massive but immaterial medium. This representation completely reverses the roles. One can imagine the ether as a kind of flexible metal filling space, with waves and matter playing the roles of cracks that propagate at the speed of light in the case of waves, and that swirl at the same speed in the case of elementary particles forming matter. This theory works within the framework of absolute time, its author considering that relativity is the result of an error in the choice of the model for the propagation of electromagnetic waves. Moreover, we should remember that Maxwell's equations were initially conceived assuming the existence of luminiferous ether. The propagation model proposed by Magnitsky is nonlinear and invariant under Galilean transformations. Nonlinearity allows for the emergence of turbulence, resulting in waves and particles of matter. Unfortunately, it is difficult to provide more details about this complex theory in a mainstream video. So, I am posting a link to a survey article in the comments for those who are interested. I will conclude with an observation that seems important to me. When attacking the study of a new phenomenon, which happened several times in the history of science, it would be a mistake to try to represent it at all costs using what we already know. For example, matter is made up of atoms, but within the framework of the compressible ether theory, the ether could be a perfectly continuous medium, or formed of corpuscles of a nature completely different from the particles that we know. The meaning of the medium's density, which is involved in this theory, should not be interpreted in the context of gravitation or inertia, concepts that a priori have no meaning at the level of the ether and could even be merely the result of the ether's action on matter. Common sense, despised by relativists, does not consist of abusively extending what we know to new domain of knowledge, but rather of eliminating a priori abstract constructions when they do not simplify our approach to reality and are out of reach of experimental control.